Okay, a battle for fourth now. Mike Jones has gotten around Chris Harmon. Now he goes rooting down to the inside on Jim Bartley. They're nearly side by side out of turn number 4 for the number 4 spot. Casey Ott will stack them up 3 wide going into turns 1 and 2. Mike Jones out of Brooks, Kentucky looks to the inside of the Eastwood, Kentucky chauffeur Jim Bartley, and they run side by side again out of turn 4. Mike Jones has got the 4th place spot as they head back into turns 1 and 2 now with 35 laps remaining. The Derby City 100 here tonight at Louisville Speedway. Harmon bumper tags with the 17 of Bartley that time out of turn 4. 34 laps remaining. Tim Parkerson out front. He keeps that interval between first and second and about 4 car lengths. Moves in behind. All problems right in front of our race leader. Casey Ott gets turned around. Parkerson scoots across the grass. He remains on the racetrack. The red flag comes out. Oh, Jeff Johnson's number 10, the passenger side of that car all torn up, as Casey Ott somehow got tangled up down in turns 3 and 4. Chuck Barnes' car also came to a stop. The red flag is displayed with 32 laps remaining. Accomplishments here at Louisville Speedway. He's going to have to hold off Jerry Lee in the number 9 as they come back to the green. Parkerson caught a little bit of that inside curve down in turns 1 and 2, a little more he wanted to, but it didn't look like it scrubbed off any speed on him, because he definitely has the horses, and out handles Jerry Lee as they come back to the strike. They're back into turns 1 and 2. Chris Harmon in the number 6 now is in the 3rd place spot. Oh, and a problem for the defending winner of this event. Steve Max, number 47, comes off the pace and pulls down to the infield. Well, looks like no, he's got it going again. He may rejoin the lineup here, but a really tough break for the defending winner of this race. Okay, they're out of turn 4. Parkerson with the advantage. Again by about a car length over Jerry Lee as they get down to it with 30 laps remaining. All of a sudden, Chuck Winder's car appears to be handling better, and he just might unlap himself here. Chris Harmon is now chasing down the race leaders. Harmon in the number 6. Jim Bartley in 17 runs 4th. Mike Alpin in the number 20. Unofficially in the top 5. I've got him in the top 5. We'll see what happens here. Alan Williams Jr. I feel is having a strong run too. If Alpin got laps down, then Alan Williams Jr. would be the next up in the running order. Here's Parkerson across the line, back into turns 1 and 2. Chuck Winters in car number 8 is right behind him. Winters is not on the lead lap. He's had some handling problems throughout most of this event, got himself a lap down, but I think during the red flag period, he might have been able to make some adjustments to that car, and he appears to be just as fast as the race leaders. I'm sure Parkerson will acknowledge Winters' presence on the inside of him here before long as they come down the front straightaway. Yeah, Parkerson sees him. He said, I'm just going to let you go. And you don't want to leave the door open too long or Jerry Lee will drive right up under him. And that's exactly what he did. Let's see if Parkerson's momentum can carry him off the corner. Yeah, he's got the horses on the straightaway. He can outpull Jerry Lee on the straights, but it's getting through the turns. That's half of it right there. Dean Gossett in 38 now heads into the pit area. Boy, Parkerson, I can really remark how much power he has coming off the corners. Back into turns 1 and 2, and Jerry Lee stays right behind him. Chris Harmon is making up some ground. He's closing in on these race leaders as they come up on 21 laps to go. Jim Bartley, a distant 4th. Still unofficial as to who the 5th place running car is. Race leaders onto the front straightaway. Chuck Winters moves in behind Scotty Beeler. Now David Baines. And he's just opening up the inside path for Parkerson to drive on through as he keeps those lap cars on the outside of him. Jerry Lee's not going to have much hope on getting the outside lane. Lee's best hope would be to look inside. They're back into turns 1 and 2, but he can't get close enough. 19 laps to go. Soon to be 18. And Chris Harmon keeps getting closer and closer to these two race leaders. Third place running car, defending track champion, former rookie of the year, and a 4-time figure 8 champion. Chris Harmon in the number 6. Race leaders at the start finish line, 17 to go. They're back into turns 1 and 2. Tim Parkerson feels his time has come to be recognized as one of the leading contenders in this division. He comes in tonight in 3rd place in the point standings. Actually tied for 2nd in the points with Jerry Lee. They're on the front straightaway another time. Force to be reckoned with. Father, Dan Parkerson, the Senior Vice President of Churchill Downs, has to be watching, looking on. And they're back into turns 1 and 2. There's a look at them in your camera right now. The 15 of Parkerson by a car length and a half over the number 9 of Jerry Lee. Lee can't, right there is where Parkerson really pulls on Lee. They're back into turns 1 and 2. Lee closes up a bit as they go into corners, but then see, look at that power. Parkerson's able to pull out about a car length and a half on him. Inside line on Glenn Luckett out of Salem, Indiana, and Luckett goes down another lap. They're back into turns 1 and 2. Well, Chris Harmon only got so close, and that's all he had. He's a full straightaway behind these two race leaders as they get down to it, 11 to go. Parkerson looking for his biggest victory of his career here. As they come out of turn number 4, 10 laps remaining. Again, should they get a caution flag through any portion of this part of the race, the final 5 laps must be run under green. Here's Parkerson. He scoots it out of turn 4. Car broke loose just a bit that time. He's back into turns 1 and 2, but it looks like he's on rails getting through 1 and 2. Jerry Lee in the number 9 machine, gallant effort here tonight. He's always year in and year out one of the top performers in this sportsman division. But tonight, Tim Parkerson has come into his own as a force to be reckoned with in this sportsman division. He'll become the 2nd driver to win 2 features during the year 2000 if he can hold on for 7 more laps. Looks like he has extended his lead out to a full 2 car lengths, 2.5 car lengths on the backstretch. Parkerson driving away from Jerry Lee now. Moves in on Jeff Johnson's battered machine. He'll look to the inside of Johnson as they go down the back straightaway. Gordy Carpenter's number 37 retires to the pit area. Six to go, 5 to go. They're back into turns 1 and 2. Oh, and Tim Parkerson scoots past the inside of Jeff Johnson. Johnson didn't leave him much room, I'll tell you. As they get into 3 and 4 now. Now Parkerson looks inside on David Clyde. Craig Thompson's Renegade Race Cars creation goes yet another lap down. And Parkerson now closing in behind Chuck Barnes, who runs side by side with Bob Eames. Gets around Eames, so does Parkerson and Jerry Lee. And they're out of turn number 2. Less than 3 laps to go. Lee's closed back in on Parkerson. Only about a half car length separate them. Oh, and Barnes got extremely loose that time coming out of turn number 4. Upset Parkerson's rhythm just a bit. Now Parkerson drives underneath him. Boy, an anxious moment there for our race leader. Okay, they're out of turn number 4. White flag is in the air, waved by Mike Angelini, our starter. And Parkerson scoots into turns 1 and 2. Looks underneath Floyd Knobs, Indiana's David Baines. Into turns 3 and 4. Jerry Lee is just not going to have enough time or race car And Tim Parkerson will go to victory lane tonight. Good run tonight for Jerry Lee, and then finishing up at third. He hadn't got to the line yet. Now it is Chris Harmon, followed by the number 17 of Jim Bartley. And then the rest of the positions remain unofficial. Well, I tell you what, he had to hold his breath there as he came up on Chuck Barnes just a few laps ago. And Barnes bobbled his car. It really upset his rhythm. But he kept his cool and kept Jerry Lee at bay over the final few laps. We'll meet our race winner here in just a moment. This kid has really put in his time and his effort here at Louisville Speedway in this division. His father is the senior vice president of Churchill Downs, and they've come through a lot together here at Louisville Speedway. But tonight he'll go in the record books as the year 2000 winner of the Derby City 100. Car sponsored by Churchill Downs, Brown Sprinkler Corporation, Sullivan and Cozart Construction, and Martin Landscaping. And he'll go to victory lane here shortly. Stay with us, race fans, as we have the second leg, the second half of the Commonwealth Dodge Twin 25s yet to go.